Blackheads, medically called open comedones, are not dirt in pores, but the visible endpoint of a predictable follicle process. Every pore is the opening of a hair follicle. The follicle lining constantly sheds dead skin cells. Sebum, skin oil, flows through the follicle toward the surface, and when shedding becomes uneven or the cells become unusually sticky, those cells mix with sebum and compact into a plug. Because the pore opening remains open, the surface of that plug is exposed to air, oxidizes, and darkens, which is why it looks black, even though the material inside is often pale and waxy. This means prevention is not about scrubbing harder, stripping oil aggressively, or squeezing constantly, but about keeping the follicle environment stable so it can shed and clear normally, supporting the skin barrier so inflammation stays low, and reducing daily triggers like leftover sunscreen, makeup, film, friction and occlusion, sweat sitting on skin, hair product residue, and repetitive picking. This is general educational information, not a personal medical diagnosis. So if you have severe pain, deep nodules, cysts, scarring, frequent infections, or rapidly worsening acne, it's safest to consult a qualified clinician for individualized evaluation and treatment. The first key to preventing blackheads is adopting the right goal and timeline. Pores are normal anatomy and cannot be erased, but you can keep them clearer and calmer so they look smoother and less prominent. Many tiny dots on the nose are sebaceous filaments, normal oil structures that refill quickly. So the goal there is often less noticeable rather than gone forever. And chasing perfection with constant extraction frequently backfires by irritating the pore opening. Blackhead prevention is measured in weeks to months because comedones develop gradually. So the routine that works is the one you can repeat calmly and consistently without frequent irritation or product hopping. Think in systems. Follicles clog when the input load oil, sticky dead cells, product film, sweat, friction, occlusion exceeds the skin's ability to shed and clear. The skin's clearing ability drops when the barrier is disrupted, dehydrated, or inflamed. Therefore, The strategy is to lower the input load and improve clearing while protecting the barrier. Start with the foundation, cleansing that is thorough enough to remove daily film, but gentle enough to preserve barrier function. Most blackhead routines fail in one of two ways: under-cleansing or over-cleansing. Under-cleansing is extremely common when people wear water-resistant sunscreen, tinted sunscreen, long-wear foundation, setting spray, or thicker moisturizers, and then wash quickly with a foaming cleanser for a few seconds. Skin may feel less oily, yet a thin film can remain, especially along the sides of the nose, around the mouth, under the jawline, under the chin, and at the hairline where people tend to cleanse less thoroughly. That leftover film acts like a sticky layer at the pore opening, trapping sebum and dead cells and encouraging compaction. Over-cleansing is the opposite trap. Hot water, harsh detergents, strong foaming cleansers used too frequently, gritty scrubs, cleansing brushes, harsh astringent toners, repeated deep cleanse steps, and aggressive rubbing can disrupt barrier lipids and proteins, increase water loss, cause stinging and redness, and create low-grade inflammation around follicles. Inflamed skin sheds less evenly and can become more reactive, and some people experience rebound oiliness after stripping. This creates the frustrating, oily and sensitive at the same time pattern that clogs easily and tolerates fewer products, leading to more scrubbing and more irritation. A prevention-friendly cleanse aims for clean and calm, not squeaky. Use lukewarm water. Choose a gentle cleanser that leaves skin comfortable rather than tight, and cleanse with fingertips and light pressure. Massage for about 20-30 seconds, focusing on common clog zones, nose and sides of nose, chin, jawline, forehead. Then rinse thoroughly. Pat dry instead of rubbing. If you use sunscreen daily, recommended, or wear makeup, remove films smarter, not harder, especially at night. Consider a two-step removal where the first step dissolves water-resistant film and the second step gently cleanses. The first step can be an oil cleanser, cleansing balm, or micellar water, and the second step is your gentle water-based cleanser. If you choose micellar water, saturate the pad fully. Press and hold briefly on heavy product areas rather than scrubbing. Wipe gently, and then rinse or follow with a gentle cleanser to remove residual surfactants that can irritate. If you choose an oil cleanser or balm, apply to dry skin, massage lightly, then emulsify with water until it turns milky and rinses clean. Follow with your gentle cleanser so you do not leave residue behind, because residue can contribute to congestion in some people, especially around the nose and hairline. Avoid making physical exfoliation your main pore strategy. Gritty scrubs and abrasive brushes can temporarily smooth the surface but often create micro-irritation around follicles, undermining orderly shedding and worsening long-term congestion. Morning cleansing should be individualized. If you wake up oily, sweat at night, use heavier nighttime products, or consistently see clearer pores with a gentle morning cleanse, cleanse lightly. If you are sensitive or easily irritated, a water rinse or very mild cleanse may be enough as long as evening cleansing is thorough and consistent. The key is to avoid starting the day with a tight, stripped feeling, because barrier stress often leads to more oiliness and reactivity later. The second pillar is moisturizer, even for oily skin, because skipping moisturizer often backfires. A dehydrated or compromised barrier becomes reactive, sheds unevenly, and tolerates effective actives poorly, leading to stop and start routines that never change the follicle environment long enough to prevent new clogs. Barrier support is not just comfort, it is prevention biology. Choose a lightweight, breathable moisturizer rather than a heavy, waxy layer if you are clog prone. Ingredients that commonly support barrier function include glycerin, hydration, ceramides, barrier lipids, panthenol, soothing support, hyaluronic acid, water-binding hydration, and in many people, niacinamide, barrier resilience, and reduced redness. Apply a thin layer after cleansing, ideally while skin is slightly damp. Keep the layer lighter on the T-zone if you shine easily, and slightly more generous on areas that feel tight but do not eliminate moisturizer entirely. The third pillar is daily sunscreen. UV exposure drives inflammation and long-term collagen breakdown that can make pores appear more prominent, and sunscreen is essential if you use exfoliating acids or retinoids because those can increase sun sensitivity. Consistent sun protection also helps prevent uneven tone and lingering marks that make texture look worse. Use broad-spectrum SPF 30 or higher daily. Apply generously and evenly, and reapply with prolonged outdoor exposure. If you sweat heavily, Recognize that sweat plus sunscreen plus occlusion can increase congestion, so rinse or cleanse when possible and reapply rather than letting sweaty sunscreen sit for hours. If sunscreen feels greasy and makes you want to skip it, treat that as a product fit problem rather than a reason to abandon protection. Lighter fluids, gels, and oil control formulas exist, and many sunscreen clogs me cases improve when the formula is changed and nighttime removal becomes more thorough. Once cleansing, moisturizing, and sunscreen are stable, blackhead prevention is driven by 1 or 2 proven actives used patiently at a tolerable frequency. The most practical and effective options for most people are salicylic acid, BHA, and topical retinoids. The most common reason these fail is not that they don't work, but that they are introduced too aggressively, causing irritation, and then consistency collapses. Irritation makes shedding chaotic, increases redness and dehydration that exaggerate texture, and forces you to stop. Introduce one active first. Build tolerance over several weeks, then consider adding the second, if needed. Salicylic acid is oil-soluble, meaning it can penetrate into the pore lining, where oil accumulates. It loosens compacted dead cells and sebum, reduces the stickiness of shedding inside follicles, and helps prevent microcomedones from becoming visible blackheads. For prevention, a leave-on salicylic acid product in the 0.5% to 2% range is commonly used. Success depends on sustainable frequency rather than maximum strength. Start 2 nights per week for the first 2 weeks, then increase to 3 nights per week if your skin remains comfortable. Move toward every other night only if needed and well tolerated. Apply at night to clean. Completely dry skin, damp skin can increase stinging. Then moisturize. If you are sensitive, buffer by applying a thin layer of moisturizer first, then salicylic acid, then moisturizer again, or apply salicylic acid only to blackhead-prone zones like the nose and chin, rather than the entire face. If persistent stinging, redness, or flaking continues beyond a short adjustment period, reduce frequency and rebuild tolerance rather than pushing harder. Some people prefer a salicylic acid cleanser. Shorter contact time can be gentler, but leave-on products often work better for stubborn congestion because they have more time to act inside the pore lining. Either approach can work if consistent and non-irritating. Retinoids are the other cornerstone because they normalize how skin cells mature and shed inside the follicle, reduce microcomedones, the invisible precursors of blackheads, and improve texture over time. They prevent new clogs more than they pull out old ones, so patience matters. Over-the-counter adapalene 0.1% is commonly used for comedonal acne in many regions. Stronger retinoids may require prescription depending on where you live. Retinoids work best with a low and slow introduction. Use a pea-sized amount for the entire face, not a pea per zone, applied at night to completely dry skin. Start 2 nights per week for 2 weeks, then 3 nights per week, then every other night if comfortable. Only consider nightly use if your skin truly tolerates it. Using more product does not speed results and increases irritation.